Hi. Hi, very good afternoon. Welcome to the Q&A with OK Student. I'm Mariana and AT, Head of Advisors, and I'm here today with my colleague.
ATM Mainul Islam. And I'm a student of Nottingham Trent University, and I also work with OK students since the first day. That's what I say, yeah.
I know, you're basically our oldest advisor. How do you feel in that position?
I feel really good just to be the part of the organization. And also our director, Nick, we've been good friends for a long time. And when he came to me with this opportunity, I just said, yes, let's work.
Let's do it. That's
The
that's
best
the
feeling is
spirit.
to see the transformation from the beginning. As it was the office, there was no office, only we two guys. We used to sit in the what do you call global lounge and talk. Then he managed the office. Then we kicked off in 5th of December, and in 7 months so far we have come to this far.
We
Which is
have
good.
so many students now. How do you feel at seeing all of this evolution?
Great. I feel really great. Like, it excites me. It's even give me a lot enthusiasm and what I can say the exact word. Like, I feel like more hungry,
Exactly.
go and work. And we have a really good team with the advisors and the marketing. And that's made it possible, I guess. By the way, Mariana, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm looking forward to answering questions from our prospective students, from people who might have questions about studying in the UK. So guys, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube Live, don't forget to put all of your questions below on the comments so we can answer them live today. I'm doing really good. I'm in lockdown in Bristol still. I'm not being able to fly back home, which is quite annoying at the moment. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So, guys, if anyone's locked down in the UK and don't want to be, do let us know in the live comments as well. I would love to relate my experience to some of you. And yeah, it's been quite good. I have a park in front of my house, which is the best thing about this. So it hasn't been that bad of a quarantine.
That's
How
great.
have you been doing, AT?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty similar to you. That's, the only different thing is that, like, I don't have any plan to go back home right now. I'm at the edge of finishing my master's. So pretty much staying in my home. I actually share a house with 3 other friends, and it's called the city called Derby, and I live quite near to the famous Markeaton Park. This is and also very close to the Peak District.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
walking distance, so I feel kind of like blessed getting this place and those friends, and this time now is locked down a little bit eased, so try to go out sometime, have a walk. Maybe the backyard is just walking distance from my home. I can see the park from my window. And
Hey, Trish.
hey, people are coming in. Great. So, if anybody is watching us, any students or any person related who wants to know about the UK education and also want to know about our journey through UK education, we'd love to share our thoughts and our thinking. Please come and give a shout, put your comments below, and we will discuss it.
Exactly. So, have you been feeling a difference now that we're in lockdown about requests for application support? Do you feel like you have less students now? Do you feel like you have more? How has it been being an advisor during lockdown?
I think compared to previous year, because as a student, I was in my final year in my undergrads, so we were feeling an urge to apply for masters or going step forward in our educational professional career. And this year, because of the COVID-19 situation and the lockdown, and everybody is a kind of an uncertainty, like people are not sure what's going to happen next. So the number of application a bit low, but students are still curious with their parents as well, because the things like, this is not a kind of forever situation. It's going to go away. and UK is still one of the best destination for education, higher education in the world. And the queries and the question I normally get, this is about like, what's going to happen in September? Are we going to get our intake, conducted in September, or is going to go delay or defer to January? What are the measures universities are taking? Those type of question, and most of the students are a bit confused. Should they come? Should they apply for September intake, or should they wait for January? So this is kind of a mixture questions I normally have. I
Yeah.
normally suggest them to there's nothing wrong applying in September intake. Most universities are actually combining the online and offline classes. On campus and online classes, which will be a blend. Maybe some of the courses which can be taught online will convert online, and which requires an offline face-to-face interaction will come in campus and go as a normal class. So
exactly.
If worst case scenario, maybe some of the courses or some of the university will defer to January. But as far as I know, most of the universities are looking forward to open their campuses during end of September or October time.
Great, great. I feel like that's definitely the case here, where we really need to wait and see what these universities are going to do. I feel like the blended method that some universities are presenting is a really good idea, like what you were talking about having online and offline at the same time, about having some resources on campus open. And this allows for students to both be in safety and be like at safe distance from one another, and it also allows for socialization and from the normal campus activities that you would have. So definitely, if you're thinking about coming in September 2020, do contact us, fill in the form at okstudent.co.uk/form, and an advisor will come and contact you right away. We have some Instagram questions here about AP scores and UK nationality, UK citizenship. So for both of these questions, I would say definitely fill in the form at okstudent.co.uk/form for us to be able to better help you. Studying in the UK might increase your chances, but it does depend on how long you've been in the country. It depends on loads of things. So we definitely advise you guys to speak directly to an advisor so we can better analyze your specific case. What do you think of this, AT? Would you answer any differently?
Well, Aditya, the person who commented, well, if you're listening, studying in the UK gives you a broad horizon of how you can actually establish yourself in the UK if you're willing to stay here. It gives you a really broad chance. For example, there was no post-study work visas in even 1 year back. Last 10 years, there was nothing for international students. But because of some of the political and geopolitical situation, for example, Brexit, and also other plans government has taken, they have applied and reinstalled their post-study work visa, which is 2 years after your graduation. You can go.
That was literally what I was going to say right after, is how connected this is to the post-work study visas.
So if you have a suitable job, and also those point-based immigration system can help you if you have the jobs to find yourself as an future British citizen. So there is a chance, there is a hope. But
have you been seeing a lot of interest in people asking about the post-study work visa?
A few, and mostly from Southeast Asian countries like India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, because this is some of their concern. Like if they want to come over here and study British education, and also investing their time and money here, they would love to stay in UK or maybe in similar countries, and where they can actually progress further in their career. But most of the students, they don't really ask this because they want to get their education and go back. And some of the students, depending on it's a very individual situation. Depends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really depends, I feel. And I definitely think that students come to the UK for different reasons. I would love
Mhm.
to find out some reasons why people come to the UK and study. If you're planning on going back home after you study, or if you're planning on staying in the country, do comment below. Leave us your opinion and what you think about going back or staying in the UK to study. I
Yeah,
know that the UK does have interest in retaining the best talent in the world for the UK job market. So this is a thing. But I've also seen a lot of people who have just come to the UK to study because they want to take that talent back to their home countries and help their economy. And I think that that's also a really good thing to do in the end.
that's the irony. Like every time I have a meeting with my mentor, so he actually energized me, or somehow he inspired me to go back and work for my country where it's mainly needed, why I'm here. But if there is any will or chance to stay in this country, there is nothing wrong. You have the chance. If you gain the quality, there is job. You can find out a job, and you can eventually start planning or also processing how you can stay over here. Because as Mariana mentioned, it depends on the number of years you're staying, what sort of education you have, and what sort of job you are doing right now. I mean, after the graduation or post graduation.
Exactly.
I
You mentioned your tutor, and I wanted to ask you about, in relation to that, how has it been the experience of studying during lockdown? How have you been finding it?
Well, it's a all different kind of experience. It's very different than normal time. So I normally talk to my tutor or mentor or module leader through email or Microsoft Team. So most of the learning activities or exercises are turned into online now.
Hmm.
So this is kind of like very unusual situation for any student or module, and the module tutors as well, just conducting their activities and our exercises at the same time online. So it's actually teaching me a few things, like how to cope with any new situation when it arises, and not to stop and just be stable to learn. I mean, progress in the learning process rather than just stuck somewhere. So I think this lockdown will change the entire idea of like education in a bigger way in all over the world. So the campus learning will be not only option, but there will be a lot of online options will come up after this lockdown.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely true. Like universities are adapting really, really fast.
Yeah,
And I feel that even if we're concerned with what's going to happen for September intakes or January intakes, we will have universities that are highly focused on giving great student experience and great academic value to students who are starting or to continuing students. I think it's definitely different, and you're absolutely right in saying that it's very different from campus-based activities and very different from actually being there with tutors or with module leaders, etc. But I also think in communication terms, it might actually improve the communication we have with these people, because now we're actually forced to speak to them directly through email, through Microsoft Team, instead of waiting for office hours and not having things registered and things like
yeah,
that. At
yeah.
least I always feel that when I go to a meeting with my tutor and I don't bring a notebook, I'm going to lose half of that information. Whereas if I'm on email, it's just all the information's already there.
Yeah, yeah, and also the tutor, what he does, like he record all the meeting we have now, so I can revisit the meeting and find out the key areas and the points
Oh,
we're
that's
going through.
great. That's great. Do
I
you feel like even before the lockdown, do you feel like universities in the UK are good at giving students support?
Yes, particularly. I would like to thank Nottingham Trent. I'm a student of Nottingham Trent, and they've been really supportive. They've been really supportive in any matters. For example, educational, even health-wise, mental, physical. If you are struggling through something, they're always there. Their well-being department is so, I mean, so eager to help you out. Like if you have
Exactly.
any kind of difficulties, They're always there. And the tutors and mentors are awesome. They're the person who actually shape us from a rock stone to the polishes, and that's the most beautiful thing. And I think this is amazing. I didn't see it. Maybe I haven't explored so many places or countries, but which is to me is very outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
It inspired me always to find out maybe jobs, or better to find out your own entrepreneurial expertises, and also gives us a confidence in doing something new.
Exactly.
Yes, you can do it. There always.
Exactly. I feel that that's really what's key with UK universities is definitely the support that they give the students in all of these areas. So you mentioned mental health, for example. I was just yesterday talking about the well-being department at NTU. All of the universities have well-being departments. So even if you are coming to the UK and you're unsure, or if you get here and you feel homesick, we actually just posted a blog article about homesickness on our blog at our in our medium, but you can also go to the well-being department at your own university and talk things through with a peer or with a counselor. These services are all available for you. So I wanted to remind everyone we're here at the OK Student Advisory Q&A. I'm here with AT, wrong side, I'm here with AT, and I'm Mariana, Head of Advisors. AT is our oldest, our most senior advisor, let's say it like that. You're not the oldest, but you're the one that's been longest in the
Yeah.
company.
Yes, I started with a few others. This is Stefan and Artyom. Artyom was in Lithuania, but Stefan was with me during the first inauguration. And it was great. The experience so far is so great. Like, we have come so far, and we are helping so many international and European students, and also the home student as well. So if you have any question, the people I can see already in the live can ask any of your questions regarding UK education, universities, courses, and comment below. Yeah.
Exactly. So we do have a question here, actually. Someone asking, is it possible to combine study and work at the same time? So is it possible to work and earn money while you or work and earn money while you study? What do you think
Wow.
of this, AT? Do you want to tell us a bit about your experience with working while studying?
I think I'm kind of the right person of giving this answer. Uh, my journey actually started, UK higher education journey started back in 2014. I have actually completed my college here. Then I have completed my undergrads. Now I'm about to complete my master's. So since the day one, the first month I have been working part-time. And it's not a big deal to find a part-time job and balance it alongside with your study. And this give you actually a kind of an extra kind of strength and understanding of your life and career, and it shapes in where like the world require you to be. Not studying and also doing a part-time job makes a person, what I believe, more disciplined, focused, and also committed to their job. And since then, like from the day one, I've been working in many places. Now I'm working part-time with OK Student. Before I was working in some other places as well. And those experiences helped you, any students, to go forward in their career and find out and also understand what sort of career path they can have in the future.
I know, that's exactly it. I learned so much from working through my undergrad. I had the same job for the whole 3 years. It was a catering job, and it made me realize that I actually really like event planning. It was great. It was great.
It was great.
And it's really good to practice time management. I feel it's one of the best things that it taught me is time management and work ethic, and I feel that I came out a completely different person from when I came into that experience.
Exactly. When we are out from our family, from our moms, then the life is different. The world is different. So when I first came here, family was concerned, was actually curious that how I can actually go forward, and that alone journey gives me a confidence and belief on myself that no, I can go forward myself and I can actually take care of my own thing. And this experience mostly for the international students, because
Exactly.
yeah. So this is, for example, I'm from Bangladesh. We are not quite. It's not quite normal for any of the students who can work part time. This is not really a common scenario. It's very different. But if we come to UK, you'll see like every student from their school or college time to start working part time, and you get used to with it.
That's it. I feel like you get really used to just doing that. And then it's difficult. It's even difficult to stop
Yeah.
at a certain point because you're so used to working while studying and doing all of these things. And you're so used to working all of those times. Hi, Michaela. I'm so happy you're here. Um,
Hi,
I
Michaela.
Without my part-time jobs in uni, I would not be where I am today. It's definitely true. I feel exactly the same, and it's been a real journey, I feel, for most of the students that come into the UK to work while study is a completely different experience, and it does give them a lot more responsibility over their own lives. And that, what you mentioned about the self-confidence to be able to do it and to be able to believe in yourself that you're going to do it because you did it before already. So we have a question here from Michaela, because Michaela is one of the people that is here every week. And I think that Michaela works for University of Derby. AT loves University of Derby. So I feel like sooner or later we'll need to do a live in between you two to talk just about University of Derby and what we can do. But yeah, Michaela is asking about the support offered at UK universities about part-time jobs and part-time work. Do you want to talk a bit about this, AT?
Yep. Yep. Obviously. Well, universities normally, like from my experience from NTU and Derby University, there is like job shop kind of thing. So the students can normally go to the employability team, where is the job shop is there, so they can actually find the advertised job, which is mainly for part-time inside the city or next to the campus. So they can easily find a suitable job and can apply through them. And also they help students to find out the job they're looking for. And sometimes if the students are connected with the employability team or the job shop, this job shop referred them to the employers. And not only the part-time jobs, even for the placements. Last year, I've seen so much enthusiasm from the NTU employability teams. They were all over to manage placements for their students, and that gave me a really good feeling, like the students who come here for find a work experience, and the university with that effort will definitely get them some.
Exactly.
And most of the students from my course has the placements. So that,
Exactly. I feel that placements is definitely a really big part of the job and employability teams. I also
yeah,
wanted to mention that universities can also be really good employers to students.
yeah,
And this is definitely part of the job with the employability team and with these job shops. It's basically finding staff to also be in the university. So you could be a part of like the catering staff for your own university or a librarian staff, something
yeah.
like that. I had a colleague of mine during my undergrad at Anglia Ruskin that worked as a security guard. So he had all the keys to everything. It was great. We
That,
loved him.
yeah, even I know lots of my friend who works as a student ambassador in the university campuses, and some of the students are working in the Derby campuses as well. From my friend stuff, I know, and also they work for like student engagement kind of buddies, and they also get some sort of summer job during the uh, like open days, during the graduation ceremonies. And that's really a great thing, like not hiring people outside the university, whereas you are giving chance your own students who can actually gain money and experience at the same time.
Exactly. Exactly. I really feel like you mentioned student ambassadors, and I really feel like being a student ambassador is one of the best jobs you can have during your university years. If you can get that, it's great for your CV. It looks amazing that you've been a student ambassador, and you can it's one of those jobs that can definitely boost your CV and your experience really highly. And those jobs, you can find them through the university. So your first step when you get to a UK university, when you get here, is definitely signing up with the employability team at your specific university, because these jobs, because they're so desirable, because loads of students want to work with the universities, they also can run out very, very quickly. So make sure that you're the first person on that line to find like a really good university job.
Exactly. And before, starting that maneuver, you can just uh, get ready yourself with the NI numbers. When you first arrive here, there's the first difficulties or maybe the challenge you might face, like to arrange an NI number. Just straight away call the HMRC, the NI number section, find out your dates, go to the appointment, get the number sorted. Then you'll be all eligible to work for any organization, including universities.
Exactly. Like literally this afternoon, I'm writing the script for our student webinar about the bureaucracy that you need to deal with when you come to the UK. So wish me luck, AT. It's going to be a boring, boring afternoon for me, but loads of students are going to benefit from this. So I'm keeping strong, I'm keeping strong.
That's good luck.
Thank you. We've got a question here from Joanna about the start of the new academic year, if these news are reliable. So I would say before, first and foremost, I'm a media studies student, so I need to reply to this by saying if the source is reliable, normally the information is reliable, and reliable sources are official sources from the universities themselves. If the university themselves has said that they're going to do X, then you can believe it. But if it comes from your friend who sent you the link from a media source that you don't recognize, like, oh, I can't even remember like a website. But yeah, definitely don't trust it. There's a lot of information that goes on in these sorts of scenarios that is catastrophic information. So that is catastrophic, like use of information where there's so much fake information going around that we really need to be careful at the sources that we look at. At the same time, universities have now been officially asked to clarify the mode of study by the government. So we will find out, and they've been releasing all these statements about blended learning, as we were talking about in the beginning. Yeah. So we will be finding this out more and more as time goes by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I received email from Derby Uni and Nottingham Trent Uni explaining their positions during the because when they're going to start, and it says like the blend of courses and of studies, and which looks pretty impressive to me. Like finding out what course they can run online and what course they can have face-to-face learning. So sooner we will receive all the information from the universities, what they're planning.
Definitely. And we can't forget the UK is starting to like ease the lockdown, and we still have 5 months to see how things progress. So even if they are going in for a blended learning method right now, it might, in 3 months, you don't know, and it might be that they'll actually be able to open campuses safely and without putting students at jeopardy. I know that University of Cambridge has also sent something talking about blended learning. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they have declared like they're going to go for online for the session, but they will have some like a blended approach.
Yeah.
Session.
Exactly. So it is going to depend on how this information trickles down. But I feel like there's no need to worry yet, and there's no need to worry right now. And as we've just like spoken with AT, you're also feeling quite all right about the online lectures. So I want to know as well, like if you guys have been studying online, do drop us a comment below so we can talk about your experience and maybe see what things have been like working better and what things have not. I know that some people are having a bad time adjusting. but other people are doing really well and thriving. My younger sister just finished her university yesterday. So she just graduated and she had the highest grades of her entire academic career in lockdown.
Wow, that's great.
She thrives really well when she's alone, man. She thrives.
But I think this is a really new experience, and she dealt it well.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say about like, do you think that lectures, that the online lectures have been helping you and it's been an effective use of your time as a student? Or do you feel that you would benefit more from a different sort of contact?
Well, I think the online lectures are quite beneficial because these are recorded lectures, so I can go back and forth wherever I need to. And also, the notes for the lectures are already there. Maybe the useful readings are there, the reading links are there. So, can go through with the lectures and also find out the problems or maybe the areas you need to refocus and contact back to the tutor or lecturer. So, I think this is really I mean, for me, a helpful mode of learning, whether I have to travel or I have to go to the university, sit into the lecture rooms. Maybe sometime you're not feeling well, maybe it's too early in the morning, but now it's not nothing like that. So you have your own time schedule for yourself to give some time for the study, where the lectures are already in the already uploaded in the system. So this is completely new, and it's benefiting me to go through with it, like learning effectively, if I say.
That's good because, like, to be fair, I've had a conversation about 3 days ago with a friend of mine who's living, like, who's my housemate as well. And he was saying that he's been having a really tough time, mainly because he hasn't been able to include the lectures in his routine as he would normally do. So I think there are definitely people who thrive in knowing that the lectures are there and that they can plan for them whenever they want. And then there are people who should definitely watch them live because they need that routine of having a set schedule in where they're going to do that.
Exactly, and I think, Mariana, after this lockdown, there will, the change we have discussed already, but it's going to change a lot more in terms of like learning modes, because these online lectures and also recorded lectures with the notes and support from the tutor even more helpful, and student may consider having that rather going for a live lecture session apart from any of the practical work into the laboratory. Or for the medical students, that's a different case and scenario. But for the student like us, like who studied in journalism or business administration, management, this one is really useful in a way. And also the tutors, you can get in touch with them whenever you want, maybe dropping an email or schedule a meeting online, and that's gonna bring a lot of change in future.
Exactly. And I feel like it's really good change. It's a really exciting time. It's a time of innovation for UK universities, and they'll definitely be forced to modernize, and they're going to be at the forefront of this change, of this deep change in how we learn and how we think about our education system.
Yeah.
So we have an Instagram comment here. How do I decide which city would be the best fit for me? So how did you decide Derby was a good city to live, AT?
Well, that's kind of like from my experience when I first came here as a college student. So this was Derby College. So I did my foundation program from that college. So why did I decided to stay in Derby, not to move in Nottingham while I'm studying in Nottingham? Because Derby is it's a small city. It's a town. It's not a city exactly. It's a town, small town, but it has a feeling of a city and also kind of like a countryside, so like what I like most. And also compared to Nottingham, Nottingham is a big city, buzzing people with lots of nearly 100,000 of students. I think with 2 and 3 massive educational institutions: University of Nottingham, Nottingham Trent Uni, QMC, Nottingham New College, City College, Nottingham. I think so many. So the living expenses compared to Nottingham and Derby, where I used to get quite a lot cheaper, and the traveling cost was around like 20 to 25 pound each week. So I decided to stay in Derby in peace. And that 3 4 days I had to travel. That was really convenient. It's only 30 minutes drive from Derby to Nottingham. But students who also live in Nottingham, they have other benefits too. They're staying close to the campus, close to the library and the resources, where I had to go and stay over in the library during.
Oh my
Right,
God.
that's the experience. But this is kind of fun as well, because when you are staying
It's an
over,
experience. It's an experience. It's like sleeping in Heathrow Airport. You need to do it
yeah,
at least once in
yeah,
your life.
we procrastinate a lot, like the students in undergrads when we were. So
I know, it's such a thing.
such a thing. So it's a kind of fun. It's kind of fun, like when we are, staying over in the library. So I know not only me, lots of my mates are in the library as well, because the deadline is maybe 1 or 2 days away. So
Exactly.
every 1 hour or 2 hour, you're taking a break. You're going to their table, talking to them, what they're doing, having a tea, coffee, and this. That's fun.
Oh
That's
my
really
God,
fun.
I feel like every single undergraduate student has the same experience. Like literally, it's impossible not to have that experience. I remember because as you were talking, I was remembering being in like the ARU computer open computer area because we had like just this enormous room full of computers. And
Mhm.
me and all of my mates from uni would be there just doing papers. And it got to a point where like me and me and a friend of mine at the time, we started taking a kettle with us to the library and instant coffee. And we started selling these for like 10p a cup because it was so much cheaper than all of the coffee that you could get at uni. This escalated so much that it got to a point that people were just asking us to cook like ramen noodles and things of this sort in the library.
That's the entrepreneurial aspect. You see, just give me an idea. I could have do it. I mean, I can do it in maybe.
Man, I feel like this is a great tip for all the undergraduate students that are listening to us. Do take a kettle with you if you're doing long nights in the library so you can sell coffee to all of the other caffeine deprived students.
Also, that's staying over in the library. Or maybe we are not working as a group. We are sitting separate areas, but we got used together in the same place, maybe 1 and 2 hours after, and that used to good. Like help you generate ideas.
Exactly, because you're kind of socializing with people
Yeah,
as at the same time as you're doing all of these things.
and also let's come back to the question, like how you can decide which city is best for you. It's like, so kind of
Because we kind of deviated here a bit.
deviated from the main question. Like, the kind of experience you want to have, like the personality you are having. Some people really love to stay in London because London is a cosmopolitan city. The world's one of the biggest, I think, number 2 or 3 cities in the world. So they love the nightlife in London. Is never sleeps, maybe in some areas in the London, most, if I'm not wrong. And also you get an experience of living in a massive metropolitan city with more than 8 million people. That's a different life. Some
Like,
people love it.
look, it's like the population in London is bigger than the population in the whole of Portugal,
Yeah.
literally. And it's much bigger than the whole population of Estonia. There are countries
Oh,
that are bigger than London.
yes, yes. Yes, when I went to do my exchange semester in Norway, then I realized it. They have only 5 million people in the entire country. The country twice the size of UK.
Exactly. And that's like in London, it's just you have so many people and they're all confined to like this island.
Yeah, and also, in London, you will find it's diversely multicultural place. You'll see people from every corner in the world, and it may be one of the interests you can have, like to stay with the people from every corner of the world. And also, if you want some nice seaside, like little serene, quiet, calm atmosphere. You can go to the Portsmouth, maybe Bournemouth, which has really nice sandy beaches.
Oh my
Or
God, beaches with sand in the UK. Wow.
and if you want like places like which has more historical views and values, for example, Liverpool, such a beautiful city. If you like Beatles, you would love Liverpool.
I think that that's the thing. It really depends on the person. And there's one thing that I would say is if you come from a rural or more countryside area, do not move to a huge city. You will have such a hard time. Is
Exactly.
like, yeah, just think about one, always think about your budget.
Budget.
Second, always think about the things that are important to have in a city for you. So things like proximity to campus is important, or having people who I relate to, or having people that I know nearby, all of these things. And then also consider where you've lived up until then in your life. Because if you go to a place that's very, very different from where you've lived your entire life, you'll have such a big shock with just like the same thing. If I said countryside to city, but the same thing happens with people who come from really big cities to the countryside. Suddenly every single noise annoys them, and the absence of noise annoys them because they've been so used to just having constant noise.
No,
And I
yeah,
think that that's definitely what happens when people come to London, because they
yeah,
don't realize how busy London is 24/7, and it's just an overload of senses continuously.
yes, it is. You know, from my case, I'm from actually Dhaka, where I lived my most of the time, which is, I mean, even 10 times bigger than London in terms of population. So I did realize it, the thing you mentioned, like, I mean, the big cities, it's difficult for some people to cope with. You can, I mean, lose your concentration and focus easily because the life is so fast and hard and so competitive there. So I decided from the beginning when I came to London, I mean UK, because I was staying with my relatives in London. And so I have to move in outside London, where I will have much more space and time to think, or also maybe it will help me stabilize myself in the UK. And it did. Otherwise, it would be difficult for me to sustain in London.
Exactly. Exactly, because that's the thing as well. It's like London is so expensive comparatively to other places in the UK. Cambridge, for example, where I've lived for 3 years, it's so expensive as well. It's so beautiful, but it's really, really, really expensive. You pay for the aesthetics in Cambridge, I feel. You pay
Yeah,
for the fact that you get up in the morning and you have the sun over the River Cam and it's beautiful, amazing, but then you pay £600 for a room.
yeah, yeah, it's true. But you know, if you are really fancy of this and you have the budget, I'll definitely suggest you to go to Cambridge. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
best city in entire UK, if I'm not wrong.
It has
So,
a terrible nightlife though.
sorry, not experienced with that thing, but
Terrible, terrible nightlife.
I've been there, I explored it, and I feel like always, I feel like I have to go again. I have to go again. Like
It
so,
is it is definitely a city that I want to return to.
Cambridge, and also if you know the stories about the different colleges of Cambridge University, it's gonna amuse you a lot.
Exactly.
The rivalry between two of the college.
Exactly. I feel like there's so many things to find out about the colleges as well.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the colleges that put a canon, pointing to the another college. This is maybe the King Charles. I mean, one of the college name with Kings,
yeah, King's College,
King's College, and also I forget
Trinity.
Trinity. Yeah, that they are the biggest rival of this campus,
Hmm. And
and
they're right next to each other as well,
right
and right in the
next-
smack middle of
yeah,
Cambridge.
and they just put King's College put a cannon pointing to Trinity, and Trinity is the most richest college as well in
Hmm.
Cambridge, or among all of the colleges, but King's is the second anyway. They're rich as well, and both of the students maybe they don't really get along most of the time. That's why their campus is quite separated.
They're all really separate. It's so odd to walk around Cambridge and figure out all the colleges as well. And then you have kind of Anglia Ruskin
Yeah.
in the middle of that, which is completely just a modern university that you basically have a park. I'll show you. We need to go to Cambridge and visit Anglia Ruskin. I miss Anglia. I miss Cambridge. So we're going to go there eventually. But you have a park that has like a lamppost in the middle, and one side says Anglia Ruskin and the other side says Cambridge University, because it's theoretically the division of the city between Anglia Ruskin students and Cambridge University students.
Yeah, they're just enjoying.
Exactly. So I wanted to ask you something to like move the topic to something else.
Yeah.
Is that we're almost at the end of Ramadan, right? We're almost at Eid. And I wanted to ask about practicing your faith in the UK. If you've had trouble with this, or if it's been like a good experience, if you feel like you have support and a community here.
Well, I'm in the UK. I'm living in the UK. It's my 7th year. And as a Muslim, I have to say and admit one thing, that is the most, friendly country and the government, according to the religion and religious faith and views. So as a Muslim, we have all sort of facilities provided by the government, like mosque, like all other things. If even you have to do kind of like the culture we have in our back home, rallies in the street, like during the special days, religious days, they allowed us and they give us full protection. And
Oh,
for the
that's great.
Eid prayer, we pray in the garden. There's a bigger field next to the park, and it's the city council who arrange it. And the compassion and the support, when I first came here and I saw it, I said that's the most beautiful thing you can have, not only for as a Muslim. I saw, like, for the Sikh people that have all the facilities, like their temples, like Gurdwara, and all the other facilities they have. Like Hindu people, who whatever you say the name, you have it there. If you have any importance, any urgency on those things, the government and the local government is there to help you out.
Exactly. I feel definitely that the UK is a multi-faith nation. Could you say this? Yeah.
Yeah. Multi-faith, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that people most point out about that they love about being here. And it's one of the things that I noticed when I moved here was like the existence of multi-faith prayer rooms, for example, in all university campus.
University campuses, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really interesting. Like Anglia Ruskin's one is right by the library for some reason. I feel that it's because when you turn in your assignments, you then go and pray.
Even in NTU, we have a prayer room for Muslims, the mosque in, one of the language center. They have given an entire auditorium for that. It's a huge
that's
space.
amazing.
And for, we have Jummah, the Friday, which is like weekly prayer, which is a weekly big event for Muslims. And also what they have done, like they have given a room away from the library inside in the 3rd floor. So if you were in a rush, you don't want to go out from the library and pray your prayer into the mosque, you can practice your prayer in that room.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. The compassion is like, it's an exemplary support they're doing here.
Exactly. It's compassion and respect, right? It's respect for other faiths as well. So we do have a question here from Elena about what is the best part of studying in a British university. And I feel like this is kind of connected to what we were just talking about with the compassion and the student support and everything that we've been talking about. What do you think, AT?
Yeah, what's the best? Well, UK education is, anyway, you have to agree that it's one of the best in the world. But as an international student, if I say from my experience, it has given me a chance to come across with lots of students from around the globe, where I meet with lots of people from different cultures, which helped me understand and respect and develop a sense of cultural differences and cultural norms and cultural activities of other people from other countries, and it that knowledge gave me the respect, and that's the way I actually subconsciously got educated. And other things is like getting like world-class education. The most of the universities are providing excellent teaching services, and also it helps students like me and individuals, and it helps to get ready to face the world. For example, finding your own profession. For example, it could be a job, it can be an entrepreneurial aspect, it can be like doing something else with your career. For example, from sports to chartered accountant, they do take it seriously with all the support they have, and the course has designed that way that a student actually gain knowledge, not only the contemporary education, learning of any specific subject, also a broad idea from
Mhm.
the whole extent. And I think that makes an international education system, and which UK been successfully doing for a long time.
Exactly. I feel like that's definitely one of the key things here is the multiculturality of this and how you can expand your horizons in the UK. So I feel that I've gained so much from just being in contact with international people as well, and people from all sorts of different cultures and backgrounds. Um, if you have questions about studying in the UK, if you have questions about anything basically, if you want to start your process this year or next year, don't forget to fill in okstudent.co.uk/form so an advisor can start contacting you, can get in touch with you and better assist you in your process.
Exactly. And also, if you want to find out more about us, please visit our Facebook, Instagram, and website pages, where you can find so many interesting things about OK Student, what we have done so far, and the support we are offering.
Exactly, because for us it's all about students supporting students.
Yeah, that's our motto and also slogan. That's
Exactly.
we,
Exactly. How do you feel? Last question for you, so we can close this. How do you feel about? Okay, so there are two questions.
yeah.
One, how do you feel about finishing your masters? What are you going to do now?
I'm feeling really great. Like, I didn't think that I can complete my master's when I was thinking of doing it, because I just completed my undergrads last year, and straight away doing the master was quite risky from me, because I was thinking I should take a year break or something. But I think another thing actually helped me to make this decision. Like, if I just can finish the whole thing together, so with
Yeah,
the speed, you just go on. I feel really great, and also think I'm with OK Student. I'm going to work as a placement student for a year, and also I'm seeing myself forward with OK Student for quite a long time, as we are having a really great team with Mariana and also other advisors and our director Nick, and we have a vision to just provide and establish a trusted and a smoother application process for any students, including UK home and European exchange as well.
exactly. That's perfect. And my second question is, how do you feel about finishing Ramadan?
Oh, well. This is a different. Uh,
It's a very different question. I had them both in my head, and suddenly I was like, "Oh, goddamn! I'm gonna have to ask them both."
I felt always I really love Ramadan, because it's the month is for self correction, self control, and learning new things, and practicing lots and lots of religious activities. Ramadan is a blessing for not only the human beings, we believe for all mankind, and it's getting over soon. In 2 or 3 days' time, we will have our Eid. So if I reflect back, well, I tried my best to follow all the things, all the rituals Ramadans have, and also like it will change my timetable a bit because
Mm-hmm.
during Ramadan I had to stay up late because our last meal used to late in the night around 3 o'clock in the morning, and by the time you finish your eat, your prayer and stuff, you go to bed around 4 half 4. So that habit going to get changed, and it's going to be a little bit problematic for me for the first week because I used to doing it for years. But obviously, for one more year, I have to wait to get the Ramadan, and that's the month actually helps me to get mental and uh, peace, finding the peace, inner peace, what you call like, and finding the establish a connection with Almighty. That's
Exactly.
and obviously
So
excited for the Eid and advance Eid Mubarak to everyone, including you, Mariana.
thank you. I
Um,
was going to say, like, the only thing that I was going to say is, guys, if you want to fill in our form, now's the time before AT gets out of Ramadan and has to reset his entire sleep schedule, because then you'll never know what time he's going to answer your emails.
yeah, and Ramadan actually gave me a lot of time to work and think and also study as well because there was no rush for eating, no rush for drinking, nothing else to do. Just you get up from sleep, sit into start doing your work till late in the morning. I mean, late in the night. So
I feel like it's definitely like such a good thing, especially from where it comes from the self-correction period and the self-reflection period. I think that it really matches up really well with a lot of the things that people have been feeling through quarantine.
yeah, yeah,
Because a lot of people have been using quarantine to self-reflect and to clarify what they want and all of it. So it is like necessary that we do these periods every once in a while, and it's really interesting that you guys have that as a part of your faith.
yeah. It is. It's like a part of kind of activities where we understand the hunger. Like people, a lot of people in the world doesn't have. I mean, the struggle and the struggle to starve. So this is a very good religious aspect where we develop and understand how they go through actually, and that's how actually it makes you a better person.
Exactly.
Not to waste stuff if you have so many resources, but to realize that those resources are not to waste because lots of people are not getting them. So
Exactly.
to realize how blessed we are.
Exactly. It's such a good thing. AT, anything else you'd like to say about all of these topics that we spoke about today?
Well, but it was a great. This was a good live session Q&A, and obviously for the students, prospective students who wants to start their UK education, higher education process from September or in January or even in next year, please comment or fill our form online or get in touch with us. You can actually book an appointment through the website, and you can actually get any of our advisors to help you out your throughout your application process, and we can also help you with your scholarship applications, like how you should, I mean, correct proofreading, and also if you need any help on your personal statement and all the stress you could have, we can actually take it off.
You can outsource the stress to us, basically. It's what we do. Students can outsource the stress of applying to a university to us. We're used to it. So do fill in okstudent.co.uk/form so we can assign you to an advisor and you can get contacted right away so we can start your process. AT, this was a great conversation. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Welcome, and thank you too, just to be, inviting me to be with you. It was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to having another one soon.
Yes, please. Let's do this again soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you to everyone who joined us as well. And thank you to everyone who's asked questions. Thank you to Michaela. We did want to talk more about the Peak District because it's one of mine and AT's favorite topics, but we just didn't have the time. So I guess we're going to talk about it in another live, potentially with Michaela, if she wants to join us on a live to talk about the Peak District.
Well,
thank you to everyone.
I want to add one more thing to surprise people with
Go ahead.
From Peak District.
We're having what?
We can have it live from Peak District.
Oh yes, after lockdown is over, we can just do a live hiking through the Peak District. Oh man, that would be great, actually.
Great, yeah.
See you soon, everyone. Keep safe.
Thank you.